Hey guys, welcome back to Coffee Talk, where I take an interesting topic and give it to you in the time that it takes to drink a cup of coffee. So grab yourself a cup, make sure that it's piping hot, add a dash of some creamer if you please, and if coffee is not what you do, perhaps an herbal tea steeped to perfection with just a dash of honey is more for you. And if you don't do coffee or tea, perhaps a nice fruity smoothie is more what you like. And let's sit back and get into today's topic, which is the pros and cons of Kamala Harris as President of the United States as a black woman. So, y'all, let's sit back and drink this hot coffee. Kamala Harris, the 49th Vice President of the United States, has had a historical and trailblazing career as the first woman, first black woman, and first person of South Asian descent to hold the office of Vice President. Harris represents a significant shift in American politics. However, the prospect of her becoming president elicits a range of opinions. In this video, I'm going to examine the pros and cons of Kamala Harris potentially serving as President of the United States, particularly through the lens of her identity as a black woman. One of the most significant advantages of Kamala Harris becoming president is the representation she brings to the highest office. Her presidency would be a powerful symbol of progress in a nation with a long history of racial and gender inequality. Her position could inspire future generations of women and people of color to pursue careers in politics and leadership roles. Harris has a track record of advocating for social justice issues. As a senator, she supported legislation aimed at criminal justice reform, including the First Step Act, which seeks to reduce recidivism and reform sentencing laws. Her presidency could continue to advance these critical issues, potentially leading to more equitable policies and systemic reform. Harris' diverse background could enhance the United States image on the global stage. Her ability to connect with various communities, both domestically and internationally, could strengthen diplomatic relations and promote a more inclusive approach to foreign policy. This diversity in leadership could help rebuild alliances and foster international cooperation. As a woman, Harris has been a vocal advocate for women's rights, including reproductive rights and equal pay. Her presidency could lead to stronger policies that support gender equality and women's empowerment. This focus could address long-standing disparities and contribute to a more equitable society. Now that we've explored the pros of Kamala Harris becoming President of the United States, let's explore some of the cons to her potential presidency. Harris's identity and progressive stances may intensify political polarization in an already divided nation. Her presidency could face significant resistance from conservative groups and individuals opposed to her policies, potentially leading to a heightened political tension and gridlock. As a Black woman, Harris may face unique challenges and scrutiny that her predecessors did not. Racism and sexism could manifest in more intense and personalized attacks, both politically and personally. This increased scrutiny could impact her effectiveness and the public's perception of her leadership. Harris's mixed heritage and diverse background could be both a strength and a challenge. Balancing the expectations and demands from various communities, Black, South Asian, and others, may prove difficult. Meeting these expectations while navigating the complex landscape of American politics could be a daunting task for Kamala Harris. Harris's record as a prosecutor has been a point of contention. Critics argue that her tenure as California's Attorney General included policies that were not always favorable for marginalized communities, such as her stance on truancy and the handling of police misconduct cases. These past actions could undermine her credibility with some voters who prioritize criminal justice reform. And as someone who lives in the state of California, there's been a lot of scrutiny and numbers thrown around in regards to her actual record. Some are saying it's thousands, then others are saying it's less than 2,000 with less than 100 actual convictions. So it's really hard to understand this part. So I think research on your own part for this. If Kamala Harris is elected President of the United States, it would be historic in other aspects. She would be the first president who went to and HBCU, also known as historically black colleges and universities. In addition, she would be the first president who is a member of the Divine Nine, as she is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, initiated into the Alpha chapter at Howard University. Another thing to look at is, will she get the votes? And will she get the electoral college vote? Because although we see all of this hoopla going around her right now with all of this support from not just black Americans, but from white Americans, specifically white women, will this translate into votes in November? Or is it just, a bunch of, smoke and mirrors? And let's also take into consideration the voters who were behind President Biden. Are they actually going to rally and support Vice President Kamala Harris? Or is there a potential that they may rally behind a third party candidate like Robert F. Kennedy, or go towards the Republican Party? We have just under 100 days until the actual election. We are still waiting for Vice President Kamala Harris to tell us who her VP candidate pick is going to be, which will probably have a significant influence on the outcome of the election. The Democratic National Convention is less than a month away, and by that particular time, we should know who will be her VP candidate, and hopefully that will push voters in her direction. Now, I myself am a independent. I am neither a Republican nor am I a Democrat. I consider myself a free thinker, and I try to vote on the issues. But in this upcoming election, it seems that we have to look at these candidates, these two major party candidates, and look at what is best for our country, what is best for the next generation. Kamala Harris's potential presidency as a black woman carries both significant advantages as well as challenges. Her leadership could symbolize progress and promote inclusive policies, but it could also exacerbate political divisions and subject her to intense scrutiny. Ultimately, her success could depend on her ability to navigate these complexities while advocating for policies that address the needs of all Americans. it is really up to us as the American people to look at all of the candidates, make intelligent decisions about this. Do not look at race as whether she has the ability to do the job. Do not look at gender as a way to determine if she has the ability to do the job. Look at who is best for our country. And in this situation, it may actually be a woman who identifies herself as a black woman. Now I know I'm getting close to the end of my time, but I had to give this a little more time in this coffee talk, give you a few more sips of coffee because this was such an important subject. But it is time for me to go and get myself together and start working on the next coffee talk video for you guys. I, of course, will leave the resources that I used along with my own opinions down in the description of this video. Please leave me a comment because I want to continue the discussion. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and double hit that bell so that you are notified of all my upcoming content. Also, follow me on all my other social media. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok as DC the Purple Diva, and you can find me on my other channel, the Purple Diva Den, where I do spoken word. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, I offer you peace and blessings from the West Side. I'll see you guys. Bye.